Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to this next lesson. I hope the holidays were awesome for you all. Today we're going to be continuing on with the series of lessons for guitar addiction, so kind of taking a look at some basic power chord ideas and then expanding on them and getting a lot of new sounds for our chord vocabulary. So last week we had taken a look at the basic power chord across all the sets of strings and an inversion. Now today we're going to take a look at adding some more interesting note choices in there, so stuff like the third, the seventh, a suspension, and take a look at those across all the sets of strings. So this is going to be some really cool stuff that's like a must-have in your chord vocabulary. A lot of these shapes are going to be super useful, and they're used a lot in playing and when you need a little bit more of like a spacious sounding chord. So let's get into the lesson and I'll break these down for you. Okay guys, so to start out, we're still going to be in the key of G for today. So we're just going to start with our basic G power chord. Let's take a quick look at this. So we've got the root on the bottom, fifth in the middle, and another root on the top. So we have two root notes in here, which is totally fine. Sometimes that's exactly the sound that you need. But for today's topic, we're actually going to drop that top note that our pinky is playing, and we're going to totally drop that out, okay? So we're just going to have this tiny little shape just as our basis that we're kind of going to use in reference. A lot of these technically aren't even going to be a power chord anymore, but this little power chord shape is going to be like our point of reference, that chord that we kind of keep coming back to. So it's still going to be based very heavily off of a power chord. Okay, so now we've dropped that pinky, and we're still going to keep all these chords like just having three notes in them as all these power chords have all had three notes, and so we're still going to keep just three notes in here. Okay, so what we're going to do is add a third in first of all, which is going to give these a really cool, more defined sound. So it's going to kind of be a little bit more in your face with like this is a major chord or a minor chord, which can be great sometimes. Okay, so here's a shape we're going to get. We dropped our pinky off. Now we're taking the middle finger to the 4th fret of the G. Okay, so here's a regular power chord. Here's our new shape, which is technically a major chord. And it can even sound great going back and forth between those. Let's drop this down to F, same shape, just going to move it down 2 frets. Let's take it up to B flat at the 6th fret. What's great, this chord still sounds awesome with a bunch of drive on top of it, because we still have this nice interval of a fifth to kind of hold the bass together. So pretty cool stuff. So that's our first shape. And this sounds great. Strumming, whatever you want to do with it. It's just, still kind of like a power chord, but just with more of a defined sound to it. Okay, now let's take this to the next set of strings. Okay, so now we're going to just take our middle finger off, take this small power chord shape on the bottom, and move it to the A and D strings. Okay, now the shape changes slightly, once again based off the tuning of the guitar. So our pinky is now going to the 5th fret of the B. So we get the exact same chord, not the same name, but the exact same like sound as we had down here, but just a slightly different shape. Root note for all these is based off of the pointer finger. So here's C, here's B flat, here's E flat, and here's C. Okay, so very cool stuff. Okay, now what's really unique and kind of nice about this is we can just take this exact same shape, drop it down another set of strings, so now we're on the D, G, and high E. And we get the exact, again, not the same letter name, but the exact same sound. So these two sets of strings right here, what's really convenient is they're the exact same shape. So pretty cool stuff. Kind of going back again to maybe there's two guitar players in your band. If you really wanted something cool, you know, maybe you could have one guy just playing the standard G power chord down here, another guy playing this G, like technically a major chord, this new shape. We'll just call this shape 3 for today because technically it's the third shape we've been working on. This is kind of like a major sound, so maybe the other guy playing rhythm is playing this up here. And then you have one very cool large G major kind of sound. Okay, so once again across all the sets of strings here we have first set, second set, third set. Okay, so that's just great. And what's cool about this is, don't get me wrong, sometimes power chords can sound great when they're totally clean, no distortion. You know, I still use those a lot, but these new chords for the day sound really, really nice whether you're using distortion or not. You know, maybe you're just kind of hybrid picking these still sound awesome. Next set of strings, C, F, E flat, B flat, C. Next set of strings, F, E flat, up to D flat. You can even get some great lead type of sounds out of this. So like, you're playing G and then going up to C, back to G. Just a lot of options, a lot of cool options for this. And again, it's always going to work well with gain because we still have that interval of a fifth in the bass of the chord. Okay, so very cool. This gives us a major sound. So this is a major chord now. So this can't be used like over can't be used over a minor sound. But what we're going to take a look at next is getting a minor sound out of this. Okay, let's go back to the very first shape that we had worked with, adding that third into the G. We're going to change our fingering around slightly. Ring is going to get swapped out for the pinky. Middle is now going to go one fret towards the tuners of the guitar. Now we have a minor sound. Here's our major shape, our minor shape. Okay, so great sound. So that's minor sound, major sound. Okay, let's go to the C. Next set of strings. All we're going to do is remove our pinky, and we're going to put our middle finger on the 4th fret of the B string. So this is C minor, this will be B minor, C minor. Again, all these shapes will be movable because there's no open strings. C minor, let's just take it up to D minor, let's take it up to F minor, back down to C minor, just getting comfortable with that. So again, wherever you put that, it's a minor chord. Now what's cool, we just move that to the next set of strings, D, G, and high E, exact same chord. Now we have F minor, let's take it up to B flat minor, and that's going to be at the 8th fret, C minor, so cool stuff. So there's our minor chords. First set of strings, next set, next set. Okay, so cool. Now let's take a couple progressions on the first set of strings. So here we're going to have G with our major, and we're going to have A with a minor, C with a major shape, B flat with a major shape, A with our minor shape, back to G. Let's go all the way up to E with our minor shape, down to D with our major, C with our major, now C with our minor shape. Real kind of classic sound there. Okay, so you can even hear, I mean, you can just play with these chords for days. They're so inspiring. They have a real unique, open, kind of spacious, airy sound. So they're just nice, even if you're just jamming by yourself, even with like a singer or something like that. They're just nice to use. So such a great sound. Okay, let's go to our next set of strings, A, D, and B. Here's our C chord. Let's move to a minor shape and go to D minor, E minor, F major, C major, B flat major, D minor, C major. So great sound. Eric Johnson as well used these all the time. Go check out a couple videos of his playing if you want to, and you'll see him, use these chords a lot. Okay, just to finish off with this, let's go to the next set of strings, D, G, high E. Here's our F. Okay, now let's go to a minor shape, our G minor, A minor, B flat major, let's go all the way up to D minor, 12th fret, C major, 10th fret, A minor, 7, B flat major, 8, F major, 3, E flat major, 1. I just did a little chromatic walk up to F. Okay, so wonderful, wonderful chords. Once again, you can use these as rhythm playing. You could even use them a little bit more lead based. Try adding in some open strings with these too. Let's just take on the A, D, and B strings. Let's go all the way up here to 10th fret with a major shape, which is going to be G. Let's just add in this open G string. Let's take it down 2 frets. Still get a great sound. Another 2. Nice. Now down to C. On a B flat. Let's even try adding in the open high E on that. Sweet. Great sound. Okay, I was kind of thinking about adding a little more into this lesson today, but now that we've kind of got through all that, I realize that that's kind of a lot to take in. That'll be a lot for you guys to kind of work on. So I actually might extend these guitar addiction lessons out to maybe 4 lessons possibly, because we still got a few things that I really want to cover with you guys. But just adding in this third for today is, yeah, like I said, I was going to cover a few more things, but now that we get into the actual lesson, I'm kind of realizing just this will be some, plenty to practice for a full week. Something cool you can do. Mix and match these chords with a third in them. Mix and match them with your standard power chords. As a quick example, let's say we had let's say we had G with our thirds, or adding our middle finger, going to C. Now instead of going to like a C up here, or maybe a C on the next set of strings, let's just go to a C standard power chord on the A, D, and G strings. So here's what we get. You can see what's kind of cool is this note is turning into that note, so we get this kind of thing. So just something to think about, mix and, try mixing and matching these chords together to see what kind of sounds you get. There's a cool progression. Let's take a look at that. G with a third in it. F with a third in it. Now let's go to C in second inversion. So this is going to be pointer doing a bar at E and A, 3rd fret, pinky 5th fret of the D. That's our C in second inversion, back to G. Again, we covered these second inversion shapes in the lesson from the other week. So again, if you haven't taken a look at that, you'll want to go check that out. that's G, F, C. Let's go to B flat. Let's do something interesting. Let's go from B flat to a standard F power chord up here, just on the A, D, and G. This is going to be pointer finger at the 8th fret. Cool. Now there I went from F to a standard G power chord to resolve it. So there's so many options with this. So even though we really only have 3 shapes so far, standard power chord inversion, power chord with the 3rd added in. Again, technically it's not a power chord, but we're not going to worry about, you know, all the technical stuff for right now, because we still have the strong power chord shape right down here. So just to keep things simple to think about. So again, these are some of the most useful chords I have ever explored. They're simple, but they sound great, and they're used everywhere. These will always be useful. There's never going to be a time in your playing where, you know, you'll, so to speak, outgrow these chords. They're always useful, they always sound great, and they've got me out of a pinch a lot of times. So these are beautiful chords to have in your arsenal. So yeah, let's stop there for the week, because I'm kind of realizing that's kind of a lot of information to take in as we've been talking through it and explaining it. So just get comfortable with those. You know, just use major chords in one set of strings for a while, then the next set of strings in the next, then try combining, you know, go, instead of going from G to C like that, maybe go G to C like that, so not as much moving. And then add that minor chord in, and then try mixing and matching with your power chords and your power chord inversions, and you're going to find a whole lot of new sounds. And don't forget about playing up the fretboard higher as well on higher strings, like the G, the B, the E, and even getting the D in there as well. And you're going to find so many options. This can keep you busy for months. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this lesson. Next week we'll start taking a look at adding some more, like some suspensions in, some sevenths, stuff like that, but still all based right around this power chord shape. So thank you guys so much for coming back to this next lesson, and I will see you all back here next week again. Thanks everyone.